Fresh, freshy, flex. Fresh, fresh, freshy, flex. Fresh, fresh, Helmas, Nef, Kawit Cafe Best.
Okay.
Holy Spirit,
They better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey.
Activate. Let's go. Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh, no.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay.
Activate.
Hey, hey,
Let's go.
they say I ain't saved cause I cuss a little bit. But you're the only judge that I need and that's it. They always in my business cause they say I backslid. They read the Holy Bible but they ain't applying it. So Holy Spirit activate. If you do it right now, that would be great. I ain't trying to smack this chick in the face. Don't you see me down here trying to change my ways. So
Holy Spirit,
you better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey, hey, hey.
You cannot.
Hold on.
Okay.
Holy Spirit,
They
activate.
better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You
activate.
better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Before I get them, Lord.
Activate.
Hey.
Activate. Let's go. Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh, no.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay.
Activate.
Hey, hey,
Activate. Let's go.
they say I ain't saved cause I cuss a little bit. But you're the only judge that I need and that's it. They always in my business cause they say I backslid. They read the Holy Bible but they ain't applying it. So Holy Spirit activate. If you do it right now, that would be great. I ain't trying to smack this chick in the face. Don't you see me down here trying to change my ways. So
Holy Spirit,
you
activate.
better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey, hey, hey.
You cannot.
Hold on.
Okay.
Holy Spirit,
They
activate.
better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You
activate.
better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Before I get them, Lord.
Activate.
Hey.
Activate. Let's go. Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh, no.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Okay.
Activate.
Hey, hey,
Activate. Let's go.
they say I ain't saved cause I cuss a little bit. But you're the only judge that I need and that's it. They always in my business cause they say I backslid. They read the Holy Bible but they ain't applying it. So Holy Spirit activate. If you do it right now, that would be great. I ain't trying to smack this chick in the face. Don't you see me down here trying to change my ways. So
Holy Spirit,
you
activate.
better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey, hey, hey.
You
Hold
cannot.
on.
Okay.
Holy Spirit,
They
activate.
better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You
activate.
better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Before I get them, Lord.
Activate.
Hey.
Activate. Let's go. Holy
Hi, can you guys hear me? Yes, you can hear me. Okay, I was just checking. Hello. On my word. Hello. I don't have a super long time because I gotta go do some stuff. Because I was gonna do like a hot topics and add this in there, but I have to go do some stuff. So I don't want to like rush this Shanquella topic. So I'm going to spend all of my time talking about Shanquella because I want to. Okay, that's what that were. So I'm going to talk about Shanquella because this is big. And this is big. We finally get to hear from somebody other than Metro Palala. Okay. There is this man over there from Mexico that is filled, okay, a burrito filled lie. Okay. And we've been getting all of our, our updates 62 days later, getting all our updates from a liar. So, oh my word, this is so refreshing to have someone that is telling the truth talk, other than having him. Yeah, I'm over it. Okay, hair flip. So, I'm super excited. So, shout out to the Robinson family. As we always start these lives, justice for Shanquella. Okay, we're not giving up. All right, we're going to stay on this story. Okay, I promise you, because Shanquella was going to be my friend. Okay, if Shanquella was alive, God rest her soul, but we will be friends. We will totally be friends. So, my girl, because like, she just seemed like she was great. So for the people that don't know, I always give an update like when anything happens with cases that we follow, and Shanquella has been a big case that the Shine Everyway has been interested in. So again, we're going to keep you updated. Now in the title we have Shanquella update. Dajhanae planned Shanquella's death. Dajhanae lied to hotel to flee Mexico. Okay, exposed now. The concierge at the hotel has now spoke and given their side of the events that took place while Shanquella Robinson was in Cabo with her friends. Okay, Cabo St. Lucas. Okay, with her friend, the young Black woman who was on a vacation with 6 fake friends. And unfortunately, they lied and said she passed away from alcohol poisoning. Coming to find out another story once the autopsy and death certificate came back. Okay. A very viral story, big story, still is a big story. The Robinson family has also been making headways, being out doing rallies, among other things, even sending a letter to the president to get them involved with the extradition process to speed up things to get Shanquella Robinson justice. Okay, so we've gotten some really juicy information that we get to go over. A lot of we was right. Now, Uncheckables, we were right about everything. Okay. Okay. I feel like a lot of YouTubers that covered this story, okay, we should be being mentioned. Okay. Because we have been working hard. Okay. Some of us, the other ones, they've been over here lying and everything, y'all, to keep this story going. Okay. They over here making up stuff, but at the same time raising awareness, real awareness, fake information. Okay. So my girl. So yeah, it's we give us what we do. Okay. Now we've been working hard. Okay. Now ABC, all y'all trying to act like y'all doing everything, y'all not. Okay. Okay. The internet FBI has been all over this. Okay. Us, the people. Okay. Now we done been all over the Black Twitter, you know, and among other people. Okay, we've been all over the story. Okay, give us our just due. Okay, Waffle come. Y'all taking all the credit. I don't know, but whatever. As long as she gets justice. So my girl. So because we've been working hard, we have. Now please hit the like, please hit the like, please hit the like. I'm going to pull. Where is it? Okay. I'm gonna pull this up. Okay. It's just throwback. So that we could, for the people who kind of know but don't know what's going on with the Shanquella case or who Shanquella necessarily is, I'm going to give you a backstory, and then we're going to get into what is actually being said. I put on the thumbnail that they laughed after Shanquella died. I meant that. Okay, because I got hit up by some people that are just like, oh, well, you realize what you put in the thumbnail, right? I'm like, yeah. Because it happened. They did laugh. If put you out this. After Shanquella was discovered that she had passed away and whatnot, because they said it was at night, which it wasn't, it was during the day, which we were right about that too. Okay. After, again, they knew she passed, all that good stuff. They were heard laughing. There was laughter. Clear as day. Okay. So that happened. Ain't no way in the world my friend gonna pass away and I'm laughing about anything. Nothing's funny. Nothing's funny. The world is coming down. Nothing's funny. So I don't see how people, like, that's crazy. Like, nothing would have made me laugh. Nothing. I would have been distraught. Nothing would have made me laugh. Like, no, I don't care. I'm a mess. I'm a mess. Like I'm not laughing at anything. Okay, so we're going to get into that. So, but that did happen. So I don't want people to think that that's not clickbait. That happened, and we're gonna get into it. So that I just wanted to clear it up because I don't need to use anything for clickbait, or anything like that. It literally happened, and I laugh because it's just like I wouldn't have put it on my thumbnail if it didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like no, that's not clickbait. It happened, and I will make sure I go over that part a few times so that people can see like no, they were literally laughing. So I'm here, Flip. So we'll get into that. But until then, please hit the like, please hit the like, please hit the like. What we know, shout out to the cut. What we know about the death of Shanquella Robinson, okay? Now this was done, updated in March. So let's go. In October of last year, Shanquella Robinson, 25-year-old woman from Charlotte, North Carolina, arrived in the town of San Jose del Cabo, a resort city on the southern tip of Mexico's Baja California peninsula, with 6 fake, they forgot fake, friends. A day later, she was found dead in the rental property where they were staying. Although Robinson's friends told her mother and that she died of alcohol poisoning, her death certificate recorded that cause was spinal cord injury. Spinal cord. I know somebody was knocking on my door because my turn. Whatever. Sorry. Spinal cord injury, neck injury. Calls for authorities to investigate Robinson's death grew after a video showing one of her friends physically assaulting her went viral. More than 4 months after Robinson's death, her family and their attorney, Ben Crump, claimed the Mexican authorities concluded their investigation and went through proper channels for extradition, but that U.S. Authorities have made no arrest. The family says they have been left in the dark and feel like efforts to bring their daughter's killer to justice have stalled. Here's everything we know about the case so far. Robinson last spoke with her mother a day before her death. Robinson's mother told CNN that she talked to her daughter on the morning of October 28th. When I spoke with her, she seemed to be pretty happy. She was laughing, she said. She seemed very happy on that trip. I said, okay, enjoy yourself, love you. I will talk to you tomorrow. And I never spoke to her again. Robinson's graduated from West Charlotte High School and attended Winston-Salem State University, where she met some of the fake friends who were on the trip with her. Her father told the New York Times that she ran a business braiding children's hair. After Robinson was found dead in the living room of the vacation rental where she and her friends were staying, her friends returned home. Her father told the Times that he did not understand why they were allowed to leave Mexico. A video shows Robinson being beaten by one of her friends. A video that made the rounds online following her death shows someone physically beating Robinson, and the person can be seen throwing her to the ground and kicking and punching her all over her body and head. A man standing nearby can be heard saying, "Quella, can you at least fight back?" Robinson's father confirmed to the Times that it is his daughter being beaten in the video, saying she's not a fighter. She didn't believe in drama. It is not known when the video was taken, okay? But now we know when the video was taken, okay? It is listed with the update with the concierge that it happened in the morning, and they even have a time as well. So a lot of stuff that wasn't known, because this just dropped last night, I believe. So a lot of stuff that wasn't known is known now. So this is very exciting information that the concierge came forward with, because it gives us more so of a story that correlates to what we've already heard and what we've seen. So we're going to get into that too, but this is just to bring people up to date that may have forgotten some of the details and whatnot when we go over the concierge statement. So so the viral video came out and all that good stuff. So Robinson's death certificate raised more suspicion about the circumstances of her death. Robinson's friends told her mother that she had died of alcohol poisoning, but her death certificate suggested otherwise. Per the Times, it shows that Robinson was found unconscious in the living room in San Jose del Cabo and that she died about 15 minutes after she was injured. The certificate had no mention of alcohol poisoning. Okay. So the friends, again, Dajhanae and all of them stated that stated that it was alcohol poisoning to her family. That is what she passed away from, is what they called and said, what is going on? Weird. Hold on one second. I'm going to pull that back up. Okay. Yeah, so they told the family and they told the police when the police and the doctor that got there that Shanquella had passed away from alcohol poisoning. Okay, one second. I've got to pull that back up. I don't know what just happened with my computer. It's weird. Sorry. Okay. And we're back. Let me get back down to, okay, sorry. Right. Okay, right here. So, yeah, so she actually didn't pass away from that. We found that out. According to a police report, Robinson's friend called a doctor but didn't want her to be taken to a hospital for treatment. According to the Charlotte Observer, a police report shows that a doctor saw Robinson after someone called for medical help at the vacation home on the afternoon of October 29th. The doctor found Robinson with stable vital signs, but she was dehydrated and unable to communicate. The doctor was told that Robinson had drunk a lot of alcohol. Now, this doctor, let me pull her up. Y'all know I could. Let me pull her up. Dr. Elena's. Let me know where she at, where she be. Where she be. I should still have a picture. Right here. So this lady in the photo is the doctor, the one with the purple scrubs on and the bandana. This is allegedly Shanquella's body in the Cabo Villa. So she is the doctor that came and stated the statement of what we just read, which was a police report shows the doctor saw Robinson after someone called for medical help at the vacation home on the afternoon of October 29th. The doctor found Robinson with stable vital signs, but she was dehydrated and unable to communicate. The doctor was told that Robinson had drunk a lot of alcohol. Okay. So this is the doctor. Now, that doctor no longer works for the medical center inside of Cabo. I believe it's I don't know exactly if it's like right in Cabo, but yeah. So she no longer works there, and she no longer works for Cabo Villas where this happened. So she's clearly been fired, and I'm so confused. And if y'all fired her, it had to have been due to some type of negligence, and she wasn't. Her job was not at stake until this whole Shanquella incident. So if Shanquella's the reason she no longer works there because she was being negligent, then that shows proof that this doctor, upon arrival, knew that Shanquella was deceased. She knew. So there was no reason for her to work on Shanquella, or anything like that. Like that, there was no reason for it. No reason at all. So no, I get it. I get it. A lot of us, shout out to Persuasive, a lot of us was calling up there. No, I get that. But again, if there's no negligence, if they felt like, you know what, she did her job, she told the truth, why get rid of her? Why get rid of her? So that's what I'm saying. There's some type of negligence, and then that hospital is not the only one that got rid of her. Cabo Villas got rid of her too. Like, why did everybody cut ties right after Shanquella? If she just did her job, if she was being a good doctor and doing what doctors do, there would have been no reason for people to cut ties with her. She did something wrong. She absolutely did. So what she did wrong was she lied. She lied and said that Shanquella was still alive when she got there, knowing she was not, because the death certificate and the autopsy completely differ. And her lineup of things completely differ from how Shanquella passed away, which was from a violent spinal cord injury that she passed away from within 15 minutes. The doctor states it was alcohol poisoning. She was dehydrated when I got there. She was still able to speak, all of that. No, she would have not been. Even if the doctor would have made it there within the 15-minute period, Shanquella still would not have been alive. And if so, if she made it within the 15-minute period, Shanquella would not have been able to speak at all. So either way it goes, she's lying. Like, she lied. And they found that out. I feel like they like, you know what? You messed up real bad. Like, you messed up real bad. Due to protocol. Like, you messed up. So yeah, she shouldn't be allowed to be a doctor. I agree. I don't think she should be a doctor as well. I agree. I think she shouldn't allowed to be. She shouldn't be allowed to be around people, handle people, care for people like that at all. If you're going to say a deceased person was dehydrated, it's like, no, she's dead. Like, what are we doing here? But let's keep going. According to the police report, while the doctor wanted to take Robinson to the hospital, her friends insisted that she be treated at the vacation home. The doctor tried to give her an how do you say intravenous line before she began to have a seizure. At the point, one of Robinson's friends called for an ambulance per the Observer. At 4:49 p.m., when the doctor detected no pulse, she and one of Robinson's friends began giving her CPR. Paramedics administered more rounds of CPR and adrenaline and discharges from a defibrillator. Robinson was pronounced dead at 5:57 p.m. Now remember those times, 5:57 p.m. and they weren't called until 4:49 p.m. So, and she was pronounced dead again at 5:57 p.m. So remember that with the concierge when we do the update. An arrest warrant was issued for one of Robinson's friends. Daniel De La Rosa, the Attorney General for Baja California Sur, told reporters that Robinson's death resulted from direct aggression and that an arrest warrant for the crime of femicide, the killing of a woman because of her gender, has been issued. De La Rosa believes that a friend of Robinson's is responsible for her death, which she has now finally been named as Dajhanae Jackson. Finally, they let us know what we already knew, but her name is finally out there. So the warrant is no longer, yeah, it's out there. Neither Mexican nor U.S. authorities have identified the suspect, but they have confirmed that she is a U.S. citizen. Although no one has been charged in the case, authorities have not released the names of Robinson's friends. According to CNN, and the FBI Charlotte field office has opened an investigation into Robinson's death. Mexican prosecutors said that they are consulting with federal government officials in both countries about an extradition request. We are already carrying out all the relevant procedures, both the Interpol file and extradition request, De La Rosa said. Okay. Now we'll get into Robinson's family, stating that they feel like they failed them. But until then, let's get into. Sorry, I have a lot. I have a lot, but we're not going to get into all of this today. But boom. So let's get into this. So the update is gonna is it gonna update? There we go. So the Charlotte Observer, let's get into this. And then I will get into the chat because this is the update. So let's get into the update. Hotel staff pointed police to suspect in Shanquella case. New records now show. Okay. So newly obtained information reveals the 6 people traveling with Shanquella fled Mexico after her death, and she was seen at dinner the night before acting strange. Okay, is it? Okay. Yeah. So now there was a video that we all watched, and I can pull it up, but Shanquella and all of the dinner mates, because they're not her friends. So Shanquella and all of the Evil Cabo 6, when they were out and about at the house eating dinner, they literally said that the concierge says that all of their energy was weird towards Shanquella. Okay, so we're going to get into that because all of us were looking at the video. It's kind of like, well, why is that? Why are they acting like that towards her? You know, why is she walking through the house? Because there's a video of Shanquella walking through the house, calling for them and whatnot. And again, they were very standoffish towards her, and they isolated her. And he said it was like it was very apparent like the whole time. So Robinson, 25, from Charlotte, died October 29th in Cabo, Mexico, under suspicious circumstances while on vacation. An autopsy report from the Directorate of Forensic Services classifies Robinson's death as violent. A combination of documents revealing a medical examiner's findings, interviews with hotel staff, and law enforcement reports were released to the Charlotte Observer and other media on Tuesday, along with a letter sent to President Joe Biden calling for an arrest. Okay, so we're going to get into the letter to Biden that the Robinson family sent as well. The documents include interview transcripts between investigators and both the manager and concierge at the vacation villa. Okay, so we're going to hear from the manager and the concierge at Cabo Villas. Okay, so this is good. This is juicy. Okay, this is real juicy. Okay, because we've been waiting. Okay, finally, you know, something else. So let's get into it. Let me put my girl on the screen. Let me put my girl on the screen. Put my girl. Justice for Shanquella. So y'all, so listen. Lawyers for Robinson's family, Sue Ann Robinson and Benjamin Crump, say the arrest warrant issued for Dajhanae Jackson mentions femicide. So they have finally, due to the attorney, Shanquella's attorneys, we finally know for a fact that the extradition warrant is for Dajhanae Jackson. It is definitely for her finally. You know, it's like it took y'all long enough, you know, to say something. So now we finally have a timeline of the events from a credible source, two credible sources. Okay, in the 18-page information package sent March 13th to top U.S. government officials, Crump and Sue Ann write, as a result of the investigation, a warrant was issued for Dajhanae Jackson by Mexican law enforcement, one of the 6 travel mates who fled to the United States after Shanquella was pronounced dead. Miss Jackson was identified as the perpetrator of femicide against Shanquella Robinson, a homicide based on gender. Okay. So here's a look at what was contained in the letter and law enforcement records. Concierge recalls meeting Shanquella Robinson. Okay. A concierge working at Cabo Villas told an investigator with the specialized unit for the investigation of miscellaneous crimes that Jackson was the main guest handling the trip arrangements. Okay. Now, that is T that we did know that Dajhanae, the person who did this to Shanquella, who made sure Shanquella had the biggest room. Well, you know, Shanquella paid for the biggest room. But Dajhanae, okay, was planning everything because it was her birthday weekend, you know, I think it was her and Nazir's birthday around that same time. So finding out that Dajhanae, because now I got questions because it's alluded that, okay, let me just say this first. So Dajhanae was running things, if you will. She was the coordinator. She'd let you know where y'all was sleeping, who was cooking us dinner, what we gonna be eating at dinner, the events that we gonna be doing. Like, she's the coordinator, you know, she setting everything up, you know, for all of them to come there, right? So Dajhanae, and how I feel, because rumor has it that Shanquella ended up paying for all of it. Like, the whole trip was like put onto her card, her information, her financial information, allegedly. So I'm just like, okay, well, it's like, girl, you do this to her and you charge her card, you know, all of that, like, because that's how I'm feeling. I'm feeling like when Dajhanae left, she told the hotel that Shanquella was paying for everything. That's how I feel. And I feel like they just ran Shanquella card. That, I don't know. That's just how I feel. Because now to know that she ran everything, Dajhanae didn't even check out. They left because they lied and said that they was gonna have dinner. Ooh, let's get into this. Ooh, let's get into this. Well, let's get into this. I'm getting angry. I'm getting angry. So let me read that part again. So a concierge working at Cabo Villas told an investigator with a specialized unit for the investigation of miscellaneous crimes. Goddamn, what is that? What is that? That because I know the FBI is. I don't know. That's weird. That Jackson was the main guest handling the trip's arrangements. The interview took place November 17th at 8:45 a.m. The concierge said that the first night the group arrived, he noticed something was off. He said Robinson was the last person to join the group for dinner and that she seemed to not fit in with the others. So when Shanquella and Autumn was at dinner, we went too far off, y'all. When we said something ain't right. Something ain't right. What that word? What that word? What that word? Because she was already walking through the house looking for them. Like they didn't want nothing to do with her. They didn't want nothing to do with her. That was deliberate. They did not want nothing to do with that girl. So it's like, okay, that completely makes sense. And she came to dinner last. So with her coming to dinner last, she probably didn't want to go at all. But Shanquella gives like, I'm gonna make the best of it. You know, like that's what it was given. It's like, well, I'm here. You know, it's like I might as well try to enjoy myself. But I feel like they was not feeling her. Like you could tell the energy was off. Like it really was. And again, with her walking through the house looking for them, saying like, where y'all at? Like they lied to her and told her that they was gonna come outside with her and knowing they don't want to be around you. You know, type of situation. Girl. But let's move on. So at dinner, he said that they did not fit in with the others, concierge said. The concierge said he greeted her, but she did not smile or say anything to him. She was indifferent, nothing to do with the atmosphere of celebration. She was out of place at the party, he told the investigator, according to an English translation prosecutor documents. So again, at this party that Shanquella was at, I feel like the reason why he felt that, because it's easy to tell. If I'm here, because the concierge, you know, they'll come and bring things if you need something, whatever, you know, they'll just be there. So they do come around, you know, they're not just sitting there, you know, some, you know, do, but they usually are close by. So if you need anything, they can make sure that you have it. So, when him saying that with Shanquella, why I say it's easy to see, because if you see 7 people in here hanging out, but all 7 people down here are all in sync, and she's kind of just like down here scrolling on her phone, you know, just, you know, and then when they say something to her, she feels, you know, when they like cheers or, you know, stuff like that, like they didn't even include her in it. If you pay attention at the table, when they did cheers and hit the glasses and whatnot, it, because they were all doing a torture, like they didn't even, she was like completely isolated, you know. I shouldn't say 6 people, 5 people, because Nazir wasn't there yet. But yeah, the other 5 people, the girls and the 2 guys are down here cool, they kicking it, they're all having a good time, and she's kind of just there, you know, and kind of includes herself versus them including her. So it's easy to see, like that's not hard to see, a bunch of people having a good time and somebody not having a good time. That's easy. You can point that person out. Literally, it could be a crowd of 200 people, and it could just be one person that's just standing there like this, and that's who you're going to pay attention to. Your eyes are going to go right to that person. If everybody else is, you know, jumping up and down and all that stuff, having a good time, what's going to stand out is the person that's not having a good time. So that, you know, is how I feel like it was easy for the concierge to see. So I don't feel like the concierge is making anything up, because you can see it in the video. Again, we saw her walking around that house looking for her alleged fake friends. Okay, literally. So clearly they were isolating her. All the girl, when Shanquella did come around the corner, again, the girls were all in the room with each other. And Khalil was, I don't know if he was on his way to the room or coming out of the room, one or the other. But she was isolated and wasn't nobody talking to her. Like she was talking to them. She literally came in there and got in the conversation. Like she came in the room and included herself in the conversation. When she walked in the room, they didn't bat an eye. They were just kind of just continuing, like what they were discussing. It was just like we. So it's like, why invite somebody to treat them like that? Like what that is. I'm not going to say it's childish. I feel like it's deliberate because Dajhanae knew that Shanquella was coming. So if Shanquella was coming, that means she was invited. She didn't invite herself onto the trip. Like she did not do that. So there was no reason for this energy besides it already being there. And in my eyes, this is premeditated. Is how I would look at it. Dajhanae wanted Shanquella to come so that she could fight her. She wanted Shanquella to be there so that she can put her hands on Shanquella. So to me, that is premeditated. It is. Now, she may not have meant to kill her, but that's the result of what happened with her fighting her. So it's not like a weapon accidentally went off, or something like that, and Shanquella lost her life that way. No, you plan to put your hands on her, and she died because of you planning to put your hands on her. So, I mean, that's still the way she passed away. It's how I look at it. I mean, you planned to fight her, you did, and she died. She passed away. That's premeditated, if you ask me. I mean, how much more premeditated does it get? That's just how I feel. Like, it was literally planned. You planned to fight this girl. You did, and you did just that. You did just that. You didn't bring in something, that we, that it didn't happen due to anything other than these. And this is what you planned. So that's premeditated. If you ask me, Capital One. I mean, Murder One. I mean, manslaughter one. I mean, however you want to, put it. I just feel like it was because this was planned. Them having this energy for her, y'all knew how y'all felt about her before she got there. Winter, Elise or Alice, however you say her name, all of y'all knew that Dajhanae wanted to fight her. And Khalil and everybody else did too, because during the fight, they all stood around and watched. Even either Khalil or Malik said, are you gonna fight back? And she said no. So that means y'all all knew, except for her. She the only one that didn't know. That it kind of explains itself. Like it's right here. Y'all all knew that, because why are all y'all watching? If y'all didn't know that Dajhanae wanted this to happen, that Dajhanae had this smoke, then why don't y'all break it up? Because an unexpected fight, you're going to break up, right? But a planned one, if I tell y'all when we get there, I'm getting my ones, when we get there, I'm handling that. And we all in agreement. We all like, oh yeah, go ahead. Okay, so when it happens, y'all not gonna stop it. Because this is what we talked about. Like, we already talked about this. I'm gonna handle her. All right. And y'all don't break it up, don't touch me, just let me do my thing. Then they're like, okay. So that's what happened. That's why no one did anything. Because they knew it. They knew that was going to happen to Shanquella. And again, it's hard to hang with somebody when you know bad things are about to happen to them. So like when like, oh, because she said she just want to get through this dinner. And because I believe it would have happened the night before, Shanquella would have passed out. Because she did fall asleep, just out of being tired. That's how I feel. They traveled, and all of that. I feel like it would have happened that night. That's why it happened, seems like, first thing in the morning, because that was always going to happen. Like, either way. And if Shanquella, like, again, would not have fell asleep, then it would happen the first night. It would have happened then. But it didn't, because she fell asleep. That's why they woke her up fighting her. Like, she woke up to that, energy. She woke up to all of them in the room. All of them were in the room. Well, I know at least Malik, Khalil, Winter, and Dajhanae were in that room. They were all in there. So y'all got to think about that. When that viral video went around, all of them were in the room. So if all of them were in the room recording and whatnot, they knew it was going to happen. Because why are all of y'all in here? No one is breaking it up. So again, they knew that was going to happen. It was planned. Now, again, I'm not going to say her passing away was. I'm not going to say that. But everything else was. Everything that led up to it definitely was. Them lying to flee Mexico, that was on purpose. That wasn't no accident. They didn't accidentally lie. They knew what happened to her. It's on video. So they deliberately lied. They never said anything to anyone about a fight. None of them. None of them. They all said alcohol poisoning. So they were all deliberately lying. All of them. So that's what we're not going to do. Like, all of them are lying. Every single one of them. Every single one of them lied. Every single one of them has something to do with the arrest of Cabo 6. I don't want to hear nothing. So, okay, sorry. So the concierge, he greeted. He said he greeted her, but she did not smile nor say anything to him. Talking about Shanquella. She was indifferent, nothing to do with the atmosphere of celebration. She was out of place at the party, he told the investigator, according to an English translation of prosecutor documents. Dajhanae Jackson texted, I need to put another E in there, texted for the doctor. The next day, October 29th, around 1:50 p.m., the concierge told investigators Jackson texted him and asked if he was available and where the nearest medical service was. Okay. Now, this was around 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock. Okay. That Dajhanae texted the concierge to request medical assistance, not a hospital or anything like that. Just someone medical that could, in the medical field, a doctor, in-house doctor, and something like that, to come over and check on Shanquella. Now, remember that time, 1:50 p.m. Okay, 1:50 is when she texted. All right. So, quote from her. I think my friend has alcohol poisoning and she needs emergency services. And someone to translate or speak Spanish for us, Jackson told him. The concierge offered to send a doctor who spoke English and could determine if Robinson needed to go to the hospital. Jackson agreed to this and asked that the doctor be sent as soon as possible. Okay. So for the doctor to be sent as soon as possible, all right, this doctor right here. So the concierge called for Dr. Orlenas. That is how Dr. Orlenas comes in the picture, okay? It's because the concierge decided to call, all right? All right. So that's how this doctor right here, this is how we found, this is how she comes into the picture. So I'm confused about the times. Good, because I'm going to break those times down all over. I'm gonna break them down. I promise. I'm gonna break them down. So, so the doctor comes after one. Now this makes sense that it's because. Okay, so Dajhanae sent that text around 1:50. So the doctor and the time frame that they say, which the doctor made it there around 3 o'clock, 3:30, is when the doctor made it there. So either way, Shanquella was deceased because Shanquella passed away 15 minutes after her injury. Okay, so the doctor didn't actually make it there. It's like around, I believe it was around that time, like 3 o'clock. I mean 3:30, 3:30, that the doctor actually made it. So it's not like, oh, 1 second, y'all. 1 second. So I always forget to plug in my charger. I just plug my charger. So the doctor, either way it goes, Shanquella was deceased when the doctor got there. Right. So 150 is when Dajhanae originally, which is okay right here. The next day, October 29th, around 1:50 p.m., the concierge told investigators Jackson texted him and asked him if he was available and where the nearest medical service was. She says, I think my friend has alcohol poisoning and needs emergency service and someone to translate or speak Spanish for us, Jackson told him. Around 2 p.m., he said he called the doctor on, oh, right here. Yeah, around 2 p.m., he said he called the doctor for the villa. An observer previously reported the doctor tried giving Robinson an IV. It is unclear if the IV bag was in whatever. And about an hour later, the doctor arrived. Robinson began having convulsions. She later declared dead by the doctor, referred to as cardiac arrest. So here's the thing, because we're gonna go. I'm gonna finish reading all of this, but I want to get into this with the time frame so that people can understand how sick and evil these people are. I'm sorry, I just have to skip right here. The footage shows, this is the viral video. This is the viral video. So remember the 150 time frame, right? Right here. What? The video footage shows a naked woman, barely verbal, being hit and punched in the face multiple times by another woman until she falls to the ground. A person not seen in the video is heard saying, Quella, can you at least fight back? Due to the location of the sun rays in the video, the administrator said it was between 7 and 8:30 a.m. Okay? So that video that happened, the viral video, that fight happened between 7 a.m., okay, and 8:30 a.m., okay? Either way, Shanquella passed away 15 minutes after her injury, okay? So she died 15 minutes later. So before 9 p.m., Shanquella was deceased, okay? Pretty much no matter which way you flip it, right? Dajhanae did not request any medical assistance until almost 2 o'clock. So Shanquella sat there dead for hours. So it makes sense if Nazir said that he got there and they were pushing in his mind that Shanquella was still alive. Like, oh, she in there sick. She in there. No, she was dead. He said that he talked to Shanquella and Shanquella didn't speak back to him. He never said she uttered a word. He never said she spoke. So it will make complete sense because she was gone. She had already passed away. So he was talking to a corpse and had no idea because they lied. That does make sense. I not to take Nazir's side, but because I still feel like he knew still at some point before leaving that that wasn't what that were. That was, I think, at when he first got there. I think when because things started to speed up because they had to, because I still feel like you knew before you left that that wasn't right. That wasn't something. And y'all all just left her body like without a care. Y'all just left. So I still believe he's a liar. He now I believe he told the truth about, because even liars tell the truth. So I do believe that he told the truth about when he got there, her state. I do believe he was telling the truth because he said he played music for her, and stuff like that. And he kept telling her, Quella, get up, Quella, and she wouldn't move. So that's how I'm confused that he didn't know nothing because he said that she was in the room and then she was in the living room. How did she get there? How did she get there? Because she was deceased. So how did she get there? She didn't walk on her own. She did not walk on her own. So, because he displays her being in the bedroom when he got there, not in the. So she moved. Her body was moved while he was there. So she didn't do it on her own. So now they could have been blaming it on alcohol within that point. But remember, with that spinal cord injury, Shanquella, would have been slumped. So as soon as you would have picked her up, she would have slumped. She wouldn't, because of her injury. She would have slumped, like how they show her in pretty much at the end of the video with her hair going in the downward position. Her head she would have been slumped. So that would have been strange to me, picking her up and she just slumped, just like, whoa, what's she? Because even drunk people, when you pick them up, they do come to conscience in some way, shape, or form. Like they, even if they just a little bit and their eyes roll, and they, but you something, you get something, I'm just like, I don't, right, game or there, bedroom or game room, one or the other. But she was found in the living room. So that means she had to have moved while he was there. And she didn't do it on her own. So either way, she didn't do it on her own. She didn't do it on her own. So right, absolutely, internally decapitated, right. Tiff Morgan said, so I need you to read the part from the beginning where the concierge expand who every on thing came in. Oh no, absolutely. No, I'm going to read it all over. I just want people to really, because I get people are confused by the times. So to throw all of the other times out of the window, Shanquella died in the morning. Dajhanae did not seek, none of them. I'm not going to say just Dajhanae, all of them, because all of them could have called 911, but they chose not to. So if Dajhanae, which was the first person to reach out for any medical help, because the person that came ended up speaking to Winter as well too. But if Dajhanae didn't do it until 2 p.m., almost 2 o'clock, that means from at least 8:45 to 9 o'clock in the morning, Shanquella lay there dead. Literally. She lay there dead. She was deceased. So they waited hours to get help. Hours. They were putting their plan together, figuring out what they were going to do, what they were going to say, and all of that stuff. That's why I'm confused in how Nazir didn't know anything. Because I'm like, well, how did you not know anything? Because they had to get that story together in some way, shape, or form. And it makes sense because Nazir said that he gave her CPR with the doctor, that he helped assist the doctor with CPR. Because he was the only one that, from what I gather, wasn't there yet and didn't know that she was deceased. So I feel like that's why none of the other ones wanted to touch her, because they like, well, she's dead. Like, yeah, we don't want to touch her. So because they knew, so they were just like, oh, Nazir, can you help? Nazir was just like, oh, I'll do it, and helped, allegedly. But again, yes, they was trying to get their story together because they waited hours, because she passed away in the morning. That is for a fact. That video, it is not an evening video. It's not an afternoon video. That happened in the morning. So either way it goes, after doing something that, even if it was an accident with, taking her life, covering it up, to me, turns it into deliberate. Like, you covered it up, you lied, to leave. So I just think that that's, Dajhanae is an awful human being. But let's keep going. We're going to go back up to the top, but I just wanted y'all to know that. So the time frames from that police report from that doctor, she is a complete, total liar. She lied. she knew that Shanquella was gone when she got there. She can't make me believe she didn't. She absolutely did. So let's get back to what concierge. Okay. I'm just gonna read this part again, just because why not? Okay, a concierge working at Cabo Villas told an investigator with the special miscellaneous crimes that Jackson was the main guest handling the trip arrangements. The interview took place November 17th at 8:45 a.m. The concierge said the first night the group arrived, he noticed something was off. He said Robinson was the last person to join the group for dinner and that she seemed not to fit in with the others. The concierge said he greeted her, but she did not smile or say anything to him. She was indifferent, nothing to do with the atmosphere of celebration. She was out of place at the party, meaning like, she just, everybody else was partying and she was kind of just there, like they wouldn't bother with her. He told the investigator, according to an English translation of prosecutor documents. Dajhanae Hallface Jackson texted for a doctor the next day, October 29th, around 1:50 p.m. Again, Shanquella, that happened in the morning. What is going on? That happened in the morning. Okay, so again, either way, it was messed up. The concierge told investigators Jackson texted him and asked if he was available and where the nearest medical service was. This is Dajhanae's quote. Let's get into Dajhanae's quote. I think my friend has alcohol poisoning and needs emergency service and someone to translate or speak Spanish for us, Jackson told him. The concierge offered to send a doctor who spoke English and who could determine if Robinson needed to go to the hospital. Jackson agreed to this and asked that the doctor be sent as soon as possible. Around 2 p.m., he said he called the doctor on call for the villa. As the Observer previously reported, the doctor tried giving Robinson an IV. It is unclear what was in the IV bag, and about an hour after the doctor arrived, Robinson began having convulsions. She later declared dead by what the doctor referred to as cardiac arrest. Okay. So if the doctor referred to Shanquella passing away from cardiac arrest, what I'm confused by is that okay. What I'm confused by is why did they say alcohol poisoning? Why did the doctor and the Eva Cabo 6, why did they say it was alcohol poisoning? And another thing I don't get is if the IV didn't take, how do you not know what was in the IV bag? Like, couldn't the doctor just tell you? Like, or, just give you the bag? And you see, because either way it goes, Shanquella was deceased. She wasn't alive. You can't give an IV to a person that is no longer living. So, I mean, it won't take. When people pass away, they remove the IV. They don't leave it in there. So that doesn't make sense to why she would even give her an IV at all. She's deceased. You can't. It's not going to work. Yeah, weird. But okay. And it's also weird that they don't know what's in the IV bag. It's just like, why do they say that? We're not sure what's it. What? How do you not know? The doctor told you everything but that. Previous police report obtained by the Observer state that Winter Donovan, one of the travelers, called 911 and asked for an ambulance around 4:20 p.m. Remember, Shanquella passed away in the morning, before or at 9 o'clock, like right before it. So, or she passed away at between 7 and 8 o'clock, or 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock. Either way, because it's 15 minutes after the declared time. She definitely did not live after 8:30 p.m. is what they give it. It's like she was pretty much gone before 8:30 a.m. Okay, that is what that is, because there's no way around it. Because with her being internally decapitated, 15 minutes or less. 15 minutes or less, because it could have been pretty much immediate. But due to the injury, a person can live up to 15 minutes. But she could have passed like right there, like just been gone. So I I don't get that. I don't get that. I don't get that because if allegedly Nazir is saying that this photograph is real, then this is a deceased person on the ground. What are you giving her IVs and stuff for? Well, her body swelling and all of that. Like, what are you doing that for? And if she had been deceased from at least 8:30 all the way until 2 till they called, I mean, she was there for hours. She was there for hours. And again, during the fight, Shanquella was naked. Y'all have a lot of explaining to do. During the fight, Shanquella was naked. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just saying. So so y'all saying we need a timeline. So here's the only timeline I see that deems fit. At on October 29th at between 7 o'clock and 8:30 a.m., Shanquella got into a physical altercation with Dajhanae Jackson. During that altercation, Shanquella passed away. So rather the altercation happened at 8:15 or 8:15, and then Shanquella passed away around 8:30. Either way go, by 8:30 a.m., Shanquella was deceased. These fake friends sat around 4 hours until 1:50 p.m. They decided, after Shanquella had already passed away hours ago, they decided at 1:50 p.m. to contact medical services. Medical services came after 2 p.m. and by 4:49, I mean 6 was 5:57 p.m. she was declared dead. When she had died at 8:30 in the morning, by at least 8:30 in the morning, she had already passed away. So the doctor clearly lied for the Cabo 6. She did, because even the death certificate and the autopsy, neither one of them state alcohol. Neither one of them. That alcohol was found in her system. There was no alcohol. There was no alcohol in her system. So how was the doctor vouching for alcohol poisoning when she said that Shanquella died of cardiac arrest? She didn't say she passed away because of too much alcohol consumption. She consumed too much alcohol. Her heart stopped. Because no, she said she died of cardiac arrest. Okay, well, that can be caused by a lot of different things. Cardiac arrest is not enough. She said alcohol poisoning because her friends said that. So the doctor was basically protecting herself while throwing them, a bone. Because she's not saying, I know for a fact she passed away of alcohol poisoning. No, her friend said that she consumed too much alcohol. I came over here and treated her for it. And in the process of us giving her CPR, she passed away of cardiac arrest. The doctor was in on it. She absolutely was. Why is she fired? Why did Cabo Villas cut ties? Why did the hospital cut ties? Just because of a bunch of phone calls? No. If anything, we would be harassing her. We would be harassing her, not if she did a job. That would just be us harassing her. Clearly, she did something wrong. So, yeah. And then the Mexican officials stated that the doctor was under investigation. So what are y'all investigating for if she did everything due to protocol? She's fine. She did nothing wrong. She did. And she's caught. And what just happened in Mexico with that whole BBL situation, this is not looking good. Like, we may need the president to intervene because this is crazy. This is way bigger than what we think. Because wow, I'm just like, this is weird. This is definitely weird that this doctor just went with it. Like, it's that easy? It's that easy? Why? And what kind of doctor is she? Because her alibi was horrible. 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 So they definitely yes, they absolutely paid the doctor off. And I believe that that's something else, because all they have to do is check their bank records that day. Because I feel like all of them, because again, American money and pesos is more. So, 5,000 cash, 2,000 cash is more, in pesos. So again, it's not, it's Mexico, so people think like, oh, well, if they weren't giving her like $20,000-$30,000, like, not for that type of favor. I mean, it ain't like the doctor got to take a life, she's just covering for one. So it's just an alibi, is what she giving. I mean, needing. So them putting like $2,000-$3,000 together. Cause again, Khalil, when he talks to Salamandra, he told Salamandra that it was going to be $5,000 to take Shanquella to the hospital. Mm-hmm. And you know that was a lie, because Winter called the ambulance and they came and took her with no problem. Shanquella. They came and took her with no problem. Mm-hmm. They came and took Shanquella with no problem. So him calling and telling Salamandra, Shanquella's mother, that he needs $5,000, I believe that $5,000 that we're going to give to the doctor. Mm-hmm. I believe that they're going to give the $5,000 to the doctor, because remember, that's way more in pesos. 5,000 cash, American dollars, and transferring that into pesos, it's way more money. So, yeah. But I think that they found their own way, or bargained with her to do it for lower, like 2,000 or 3,000, or something like that. So, like this, boom, see. So, $5,000 goes a long way in pesos. Definitely does. Definitely does. Goes a long way. So, yeah, I think that when he told Salamandra that, oh yeah, we need $5,000 because they won't take her without 5,000. I'm like, that's weird. And Salamandra said the same thing. She said, well, my daughter has insurance, so why would I need to? Why, no, just take her to the hospital, like, or call the 911. Like, they'll come and get her. She has insurance. She'll be fine. Even if she has to pay out of pocket, her insurance will take care of it. So, no big deal. But you ain't even got no bill yet, but you already want $5,000. Like, you're weird. You're weird. You're weird. You're weird. So, yeah, that was definitely something I feel that made Salamandra kind of side-eye the situation, because she's like, why are you asking me for money? Like, the hospital don't want what? Like, we done been to Mexico. She done been to Mexico before. Like, what are you talking about? So, yeah, I think that they wanted to use that to pay, yeah, the doctor. Absolutely. Yeah. So let's keep going. According to the police report, Robinson died sometime between 5 p.m. and 6 p.m., hours after Jackson first texted the concierge for help. Later, the concierge told investigators Jackson had texted him that Robinson would be taken to a hospital, okay, saying Robinson was not in serious condition, but required an IV and was practically unconscious. The group, the concierge says he was told was discussing whether or not they had insurance that could pay for the hospital visit. Okay. Now, key word in this sentence. The group, the concierge says he was told, was discussing whether or not they had insurance, keyword insurance, that could pay for the hospital visit. So why would Khalil, if they take insurance, why would he feel like he need to call Salamandra and ask her for $5,000? Why? They clearly take insurance. So I feel like if anything, they were trying to find a way to come up with some money. We need to come up with some money because again, they wasn't calling the ambulance. They were calling for an in-house doctor. Okay. So insurance for an in-house doctor was what they was talking about. So they trying to get money together for the doctor. The insurance is keyword for money for whoever come over here. Because we need to bribe them. We need to see if we can bribe them. Okay. We need to convince them. But it doesn't sound like it was very hard. It sounded like it was pretty simple, for them to convince her, because it didn't take much. Honestly, it didn't take much. Honestly, seriously. Yeah. So Robinson, and she says Robinson was not in serious condition. And she also says that she was practically unconscious. Practically. And she knew. That's the crazy part, because she did it. Like, you did this to her. This is how you know, Dajhanae, you are evil. You are evil. It is a special place in hell for somebody like you. I promise. Like, girl, you are evil. You knew that girl was gone. You knew she was. Wow. Let's keep going though. Later, an administrator of the villa contacted the concierge to ask if he requested an ambulance because security was notified to let one in. And that's when Winter had called 911. It's not clear from the interview transcript how much time had passed. After this, he received another call saying Robinson had died and he needed to get to the villa as soon as possible. It's not clear from the information in the police report or transcript exactly what time an ambulance arrived from the 911 call. Cabo, Mexico police investigation. When the concierge arrived, he noticed one of the guests was speaking with the police. And after entering the house, he said the guests were sitting calmly around the bar and dinner table in the main room. He sought out Jackson, Dajhanae, to offer his condolences. He told investigators, y'all get into this. Jackson told the concierge they informed Robinson's mother of her death and that it was so fast to lose her in an instant from having too much alcohol to drink. And then he asked if he could hug this bitch, y'all. And she gave me a very indifferent hug. Very cold. Like she don't care. Like, not like inconsolable, like I'm hurt, I'm crying. Y'all, I'm not making this up. Jackson told the concierge they informed Robinson's mother about her death, and it was so fast to lose her in an instant for having had too much alcohol. Then he asked if he could hug Jackson. She gave me a very indifferent hug, very cold. Then he says, I saw a very sad guest, a skinny girl, and I saw that she was in pain. I think he was talking about Winter. I think he's talking about Winter. Because Elise ain't skinny. She a little thicker. She. But I think he's talking about Winter. Yes. I believe he was talking about Winter. Yes. They said, no, y'all need to get these pesos together. Go on, brown sugar girl. Yes, Winter. I believe it was Winter that was crying. Yes. So I guess Winter was really sad. So like how Dajhanae should have been, but wasn't. Okay. Okay, so I saw a very sad guest, a skinny girl, and I saw that she was in pain, the concierge told the investigator. I left the area and stayed outside the main entrance to give them space to mourn and grieve. Minutes later, I heard laughter. I left the area and stayed outside the main entrance to give them space to mourn and grieve. Minutes later, I heard laughter. What is funny? I don't get that. Your friend died and y'all laughing? Like, what's funny? I don't get what's funny. I don't get it. Like, there's nothing funny about this. So that's why my thumbnail, I put, they laughed. Because they did. Now, was it literally at her? No. But I think maybe. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know now. Like, I really don't know. Like, were they in there laughing like, oh, like we getting away with this? Like, what's funny? Like, I really don't get what's funny. What could anybody be laughing at? And with Dajhanae acting so cold, and you know, the concierge asking, you know, if he could console her, and the hug was very cold, you know, whatnot. It's like she didn't need to be consoled. Like, I'm fine. Like, I don't get, like, it's what is given. Like, she didn't care. Like, this is crazy. I'm like, wow. So I'm gonna read that one more time. I left the area and stayed outside the main entrance to give them space to mourn and grieve. Minutes later, I heard laughter. The concierge were called in the interview. When I read this, girl, I literally jumped. I was like, oh, like, and then my son was like, oh, are you okay? I'm like, they laughed at her. I'm like, are you kidding? What's funny? What's funny? I'm like, not laughter. And then, like, leaving them in that room, they all laugh, and the laughter's going to echo. You know, so it's like, and if multiple people laughing, the laugh is definitely going to carry. So I'm just like, yeah, this is crazy. This is, y'all laughing? Wow. Hours later, Jackson texted the concierge about dinner, and he arranged a ride for the group to San Jose, but he found out later the group went to the airport. So your friend died, and you texting the concierge about dinner? Most people ain't gonna be able to eat. But y'all thinking about dinner? And then the crazy part about it is they dipped. So they lied to the concierge and them. They used them as alibi. That's why they got out of there immediately, because they knew what really happened. So they needed to get out of there as soon as possible. As soon as possible. The doctor is the reason they got away with it, honestly. Honestly, because I feel like the police would have looked at it a little bit more suspicious if when they got there, especially Shanquella not smelling like any alcohol, you know, or anything like that. How was she extremely intoxicated, allegedly, and has consumed way too much alcohol, but there's nothing coming from her. Like, it's not coming out of reports, or, you know, none of that. It's like there should be obvious signs. And then Shanquella was visibly beaten, visibly, you know, bruised eye, not cut lip, you know. So it's, you just overlook all of that, you know. But I feel like they did, because the doctor gave them an alibi. Yeah, and they got out of there as soon as the first thing smoking, and they don't want to raise any flags, so they didn't tell the concierge. She made it look like to the concierge, played the concierge of the concierge, and was just like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna eat this tonight," and blah 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 blah. And so he thinking in his mind like, "No, you know, nothing to see here. And then the next time you hear from them, they're gone. They all bounced. Y'all just left. You know, they kind of just like, I mean, like, whatever, you know, I guess, or thinking like, oh, you know, their friend did pass away. You know, maybe they changed their mind. But last time I talked to her, she was talking about dinner, you know. So they just kind of all just bounced. Yeah, because they just committed a crime. So of course. The next day, a maid told the concierge that the villa was empty and asked if the guests checked out. Surprised, the concierge said they had not, and they had not, and he texted Jackson. Jackson didn't respond until the next day, October 31st, when she told him they had already left for the US, and he asked if she needed to sign anything for checkout. Girl. I cannot. Later, when the news broke of Robinson's death, a video was released of Jackson attacking her. The concierge said he realized that practically Jackson had manipulated him in an effort to leave the country as soon as possible. I mean, how could you not feel that way? Because again, nobody said anything about a fight. There was no fight. You know, there was no fight. And then it broke. Absolutely. And then it broke. Like crazy. So yeah, I will feel played too. I'm like, damn, like y'all killed that girl and used me to get out of here. Like, wow. So yeah, that's it. That's what happened in a nutshell. They did. They used everyone. The main person that got them out of there was that doctor. If not for that doctor, I absolutely think they paid the doctor. Absolutely. 100%. 100%. Yes. She was paid. Yes. You're not going to do all that for free. You're not. You are not, I promise. Right? And then the video came out, right? Yeah, you're not going to, yeah. You're not going to do all, you're not going to risk your job, all of that for free. Like, yeah, you're not doing that for free. So yeah, I don't know if it was a half now, half later type of situation. I don't know. But all I know is you don't do that for free. Because again, Shanquella passed away in the morning. It happened in the AM. So that doctor, this doctor, for a fact, when she got there, Shanquella was deceased. Shanquella was deceased. She was deceased. She was gone. She was gone. Either way. Either way. Shanquella had passed away already. She was gone. So this doctor is a liar. Because you're a doctor. You know when someone is here and when they're gone. So there's no way around that. There's no way around it. There's no way around it. She knew what happened to Shanquella and she did nothing because she was paid. She absolutely was. She was paid for it. She was. And I believe because I have to go. We're going to finish this tomorrow. We're not going to finish. We're actually going to keep going because I have the videos aligned. I just didn't have enough time to do it tonight, but I did want to, get some content out there about this, get y'all warmed up, so we can, because we're jumping right back into this. So, because I want to play the videos, like I want to play the video of them at dinner and stuff, and then read it, what we read here with the report, and then show the video, and then read and report, then show the video, so I want to do it in like a timeline, and then I want to show you the timelines from the police reports to the actual timelines with the concierge and whatnot, and what lines up to her actually passing away, and then proving that the video was done in the morning. It was not done in the evening. Shanquella died in the morning. So yeah. So we're going to get into that. But because this really angers me. Like it really angers me with them lying to the police. But I believe the doctor may have had a lot of other things planned for Shanquella. Let me send her in, because again, I'm just gonna say it. I think something may have happened with some of her body parts. I don't know. It could be some organ stuff going on here. The reason why I feel that way, and hear me out. Okay, hear me out. The autopsy did not match the death certificate. Okay, so that means basically the first one that was done said she didn't die of, a neck injury. That she passed away of basically alcohol poisoning, right? And then when the actual autopsy is done, it says no, this was a violent injury, and her neck was actually broken, internal decapitation, and she died within 15 minutes of her injury. Why are they so different? Because that ain't got nothing to do with the doctor. I just find that weird. Shanquella was young. Now, they might not have been able to save all of the organs, but they might have been able to save some. I don't know. I just find that weird. Because I'm like, well, that doesn't make sense for the death certificate and the autopsy to not match. Like, why don't they match? They should, if it was internal decapitation, I mean, then it should have been that on the death certificate too. Like, why is it not that, like, weird? I don't know. I find that a little weird. I don't know. I just find it weird. I'm just like, well, the medical report should be on point. The doctor and what's got to that's okay. It's fine for that to not make sense. But these medical reports should make sense. That's all. They should make sense. And if they're not aligning, then there may be more things going on. That's why I said this may be bigger, than what people thought. Honestly, it may be a little bigger than what people thought. I mean, again, look what just happened in Mexico the other day. With the Tommy Tucker, whatever that was, the BBL. Girl, like, this could be a lot bigger than people when they met. So yeah, I don't know. It's very, 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 very suspect. And again, they both happened in Mexico. The death certificate and the autopsy, they were both done there. Okay, so it's a little weird. It's a little weird, but we will talk about that more. And I think the family should definitely, maybe they may have to pull her up one good time for the one time and check, is everything there? Or because I mean, look at what happened to Kendrick. Black boy found dead in the gym mat in his school. And when the family got his body exhumed to get another autopsy done on him, he didn't have any organs. He was filled with newspaper. Literally. So stranger things have happened. So I'm just saying, literally, they took him to his body to the funeral home, and there was no organs. Like, he had no internal organs. He was filled with newspaper. So, and the medical examiner had to have everything to do with it. Whoever did the autopsy on him took his organs clearly. I mean, who else did? The last person who saw him, which would have been either the coroner or whoever did his funeral, got his body ready for it. They could have done it. I mean, but somebody did. So I would definitely check. I mean, it doesn't hurt to check. Shanquella got all type of money from the GoFundMe foundations and stuff like that. So, girl, go ahead to just to check. I mean, because I wouldn't trust anything. So, I would check. I would check. I would check. I know it could be hard to bring someone from them resting, but sometimes you got to bother people to get them peace. That's how I look at it. Hey, I may have to bug you a little bit. I'm sorry, baby, but look, this what we got to do. That's what we got to do. So yeah, I don't know. I would just to check, because I mean, you never know. I would not be surprised if they took Shanquella off the ground and she didn't have any organs. A lot of her main ones were gone. I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be. I'd just be like, makes complete sense. I mean, there's a lot of trafficking, and it's not just people being trafficked. Organs are bigger. To be true, sometimes people are trafficked for their organs. Not everybody's trafficked for sex. Not everybody's trafficked for that. A lot of people are trafficked for all type of different reasons. Seriously. So yes, hair flip. So I love you guys. So we will be back tomorrow. Justice for Shanquella Robinson. Shout out to the Robinson family. We love the Robinson family. But I have to get out of here. I'm sorry. I hate to like open up y'all brain and then I have to bounce on y'all. But we will be back tomorrow, and we're gonna take our time. We're gonna take our time. But I want to do the timeline with all of the videos and whatnot that we have to put. I kind of want to do like a live surviving like I used to do. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do a live surviving tomorrow on this. I'm going to do a poll. Do y'all want me to do it during the day? Because I could just come live in the morning to do hot topics, and then in the evening come back and we can do Shanquella. But I do want to keep a bunch of content and different content going for you guys. So I'm going to do a poll, and I'll let you guys decide and how we do that. But I love you guys. Thank you so much for all of your support. I love you all. I will see y'all tomorrow. Until then, oh my God, bye.
Fresh, 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 fresh.